Wednesday night, we got some great games going on in the NBA, including a marquee matchup with the two top scorers in the league. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Jason Mattis with Winning Bets. Thanks for hanging out with me on this episode. That's right, it's our weekly NBA show because thanks to our friends over on the Fox Bet Super 6 app, we can win $25,000 if we can correctly predict 6 NBA games on the schedule. You got to give them 6 winners plus 6 win margins to take home that $25,000. Otherwise, you're competing for a $1,000 prize if you get the most points, 3 points right if you can get the winner, and an additional 2 points right if you can get that win margin correct as well. Nobody won that jackpot last week, as always, but here on the show, we did get 4 of the 6 winners right, so, you know, little good there. Got 12 points there. Didn't get any of the correct win margins right, but again, did get 4 of the 6 winners. And as always, my research focuses on the last 10 games of the current NBA season. Let's go ahead and jump on into it. We should have a good, fascinating nights of games on the schedule. The first game here is the Warriors versus Wizards. It's about even here with the Warriors, though they shoot the ball better though from 3. So that's maybe where they can make up some of the advantage here in this game as they shoot the ball better from 3. On the defense, it's also about even. As you can see through all the stats, they're relatively even across the board. And then net rating there, I mean, a slight edge to the Warriors, but it is also even. So you got an even offense, relatively speaking, even defense, even net rating. This one should be absolutely fantastic, and it'll all come down to Beal versus Curry. These two guys right now are number 1, number 2 in scoring in the league. Curry's reaching really torrid and hot stretch that he's on. Has since vaulted him above Bradley Beal by 0.3 points. So I think that's going to be the game right here. Whoever can win this matchup, even though they don't go up against each other in terms of defending, they're going to be wanting to put on a show. You better believe it. We're getting down towards the end of the season. Both of these guys want to be the scoring champion. It's going to be really fascinating to see who can just put up more points. I'm going to go ahead and give the edge here to the Warriors in this matchup. Shoot the ball better from 3. And I just think overall they're a better basketball team than the Wizards. So yeah, to me it's Warriors win the game by 5 to 6 points. Next matchup we got here is the Nets versus the Raptors. The Nets, they're a better shooting team, and subsequently they're also scoring more points on the offensive side. Defensively here, you can see it's relatively even across the stats and net rating. That's about as even as you can get right there from a net rating standpoint. The Nets will be on the back end of a back-to-back. They went ahead and rested Durant last night in Tuesday night's game. We've seen now since Durant came back from his hamstring injury, this is now going to be their second back-to-back. His first time they had a back-to-back, they rested him on the second night of a back-to-back. So maybe, I don't really know how much his thigh injury is really bothering him. Maybe they weren't going to play him on both of these games anyways, wanting to take it easy with Durant, easing him back in. And maybe they just picked last night, going up against the Pelicans, thinking maybe that was a little bit tougher of a matchup and this one's easier to win. So, yeah, we really don't know on Durant's status, but I think that maybe they were more inclined to just rest him on one of these two. I actually think Durant may actually suit up and give this one a go. They'll still likely be without James Harden, of course, but based on my prediction that Durant will play, I will say the Nets win this game by 7 to 8 points. But obviously, if we get news that Durant is going to go ahead and miss this game, just like he missed last night, we'll maybe look to change this pick. So just look for me on Twitter. Certainly change it if Durant's not playing. It's how much of the win margin do we knock down, or do we give it a very slight edge there to the Raptors, maybe 1 to 2, 3 to 4. So we'll just wait for more information comes in on that game and Durant's status. But for now, it's Nets to win the game by 7 to 8 points. Next one we got here is going to be a great matchup. It's the Suns versus the 76ers. The Suns, they have a better offense, but the only thing better that the 76ers do is they're getting more free throw attempts. You can see they're going to be about 9 more free throw attempts per game, so obviously that's going to translate into easy scoring opportunities for the 76ers, but yeah, otherwise the Suns are a better offensive team. Defense, it's about even. Maybe you could say a slight edge to the 76ers. I wouldn't obviously disagree with that statement, but in large in part, though, it's a relatively even, defensive, two defensive clubs going at here. From a net rating standpoint, the Suns are better. It's about plus 2 points better than the 76ers on the net rating. The 76ers have just been good all season long at home. They're 22-6 now at home. Just a good team that defends the home court. We don't know the status of Simmons and Tobias Harris for the 76ers. Both of these guys are going to, as of now, they're TBD on their playing status. So obviously, both of these guys, whether 1, 2, whoever knows how many misses or plays, it's going to impact this. But as of right now, with the information that we know, how well the 76ers defend that home court, I will give them the advantage. I will say the 76ers win this game by 3 to 4 points. But yeah, if Simmons and Tobias Harris don't end up suiting up, this may be another one that we look to change later on today in Twitter, so just make sure you're following me there. Next one we got here is the Jazz versus the Rockets. Look, from an offensive standpoint, while it's evenly from a shooting standpoint, but the Jazz do turn the ball over less. So, obviously they're not giving the ball up as easily and giving their opponent easy, fast break scoring opportunities. But I was actually surprised when I looked this up. I think everybody's going to see Jazz versus Rockets and obviously assume that the Jazz are a substantially better team. But boy, not in the last 10 days in terms of shooting the ball, scoring, free throw attempts. It's even. I mean, yeah, the Jazz are getting more points, but you can see right there from a shooting standpoint, these teams are relatively even. From a defensive standpoint, huge monster advantage goes to the Jazz from defense. I mean, they're doing everything across the board better from a defensive standpoint. So, yeah, big advantage there for the Jazz. Net rating, massive advantage. I mean, one's at plus 8.5, the other one's at negative 9.7. So, just a big advantage, massive advantage that the Jazz have there in net rating. In terms of player availability, we know the Rockets are still don't have Eric Gordon, but then the Jazz also do not have Donovan Mitchell there. So obviously the Jazz are more impacted with Donovan Mitchell, being the better of those two players. But Eric Gordon's also going to be out there for the Rockets. Obviously, I'm going to take the Jazz in this matchup. They're the better of the team. I like the Jazz here. I like the Jazz to win the game by 7 to 8 points. Next one we got here is the Pistons versus the Mavs. Look, the Pistons, they actually shoot the ball better, and they're getting more free throw attempts. They unfortunately will turn the ball over more, about 4 more times per game. We know the Mavs will be able to take advantage of that with some of the playmakers that they have getting out on the fast break. But kind of another game when I was surprised when I looked at the stats. The Pistons, yeah, they are a better shooting team, whether it's from 2 or from 3 than the Mavs. Defensively, though, here's where the Mavs can make up for it. They're a better defensive team, albeit it is slightly, but they do, hold their opponents a better field goal percentage and what have you, and then also get less points on the defensive side. So, yeah, better defensive there. Look at that net rating, though. Big advantage. While the Mavs aren't in the positive, they're dead even at 0. Look how far the Pistons are there in the negative at negative 6.4. So, a good advantage here for the Mavs in terms of the net rating. Mavs are at home. I'm not a big Pistons guy. They're 7-24 so far this season on the road. They're not a good traveling team. Go ahead and give me the Mavs in this game, and I'll say the Mavs win this game by 9 to 10 points. And then the last matchup they give us here on the NBA slate is the Nuggets versus the Blazers. Look, the Nuggets shoot the ball better. I mean, the Nuggets have just been a better team since that trade deadline. So, yeah, no surprise here that in the last 10 days, they're a better shooting club than the Blazers offensively. And then defensively, it's about even, though. So, yeah, not much separates these teams from a defensive standpoint. Net rating, though, the Nuggets are better. They're plus 6.5, where the Blazers are plus 1.6. We know for the Blazers, though, they're going to be missing their star guy, Damian Lillard, or at least it looks like it will. At the time of doing this recording, Damian Lillard's not going to play in this game, and far and away their best player. We know the Nuggets don't have Jamal Murray, but they've not had Jamal Murray now for a few games, and I don't really know if that's quite their best player. I mean, we got the MVP candidate there, likely in Nikola Jokic. That's their best player. And then they've also made up for the loss of Jamal Murray, right? Bringing in Aaron Gordon, bringing in McGee there, the backup center. So I like what the Nuggets have done there. They can overcome, obviously, losing Jamal Murray for the course of the season, certainly in this matchup, at least for what we're talking about. That Damian Lillard, though, loss, I mean, that's just massive there for the Blazers. So, yeah, give me the Nuggets. They shoot the ball better. Not much separation there on the defensive side. I'll take the Nuggets in this matchup, and they'll win the game by 5 to 6 points. And that's how I'm going to fill out my chances to win $25,000 on the Fox Bet Super 6 app. Go ahead and hit the like button if I've been of help you. And as always, good luck on your picks, and I'll see you on the next contest. Thanks for watching this episode of Winning Bets. I'm Jason Mattis. I'll see you again when we are celebrating the wins and making more winning bets. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more winning bets.